Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be the version 5.0 release of my Chosen's Ultimate Raid tier list that you see right here. So let's get into it. All right, so the tier list is probably the thing that I spend the most amount of time on, and like I said, this is version 5.0, so I'll show you the algorithm updates here in a second, but I just want to give a quick overview in case you're new to my channel or if this is the first video that you're seeing about my tier list, because this is the video that I linked to at the top of the tier list right here on the top left. You can see tier list video. This is going to link to this video, so just a quick overview. Yeah, version 5.0 of the tier list, and every time I do a new version, it's basically when I add a new section to the game. In this case, it's going to be Doom Tower because that's the newest section that has been released to raid, or if I change the algorithm as to how the overall rating of each champion is calculated. In this version 5.0, I actually did both, and I added the Arcane Keep section. I didn't have the Arcane Keep on there before for whatever reason, but now it is. So I've got the Arcane Keep and the Doom Tower and an update to the overall algorithm that we will get into in just a little bit. But first things first, I always say in my tier list that this is designed as a resource for early to mid-game players. So people like in Platinum Arena or people that have been playing for a year or two, the tier list is not designed to help that person. It's designed to be a starting point, a reference point for maybe someone's new to the game and they're like, whoa, there's 500 champions in raid. I have no clue who I should be keeping, who I should be working on, who I should be investing in, and they just want a starting point as to who they might have that's good. Or maybe they pull Tyrell and they're like, okay, he looks good. Let me pull a tier list and see where like endgame players would rate him. And then boom, you pull up the tier list, you see, oh, okay, Tyrell, yeah, okay. I thought he was good, and it looks like the tier list has him rated pretty good. So you definitely want to be doing your own research and learning the game on your own. So yeah, never assume that me or anyone out there is capable of making an absolute perfect tier list that you should use as a Bible for ranking champions. Like I said, use it as entertainment and a reference point. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the algorithm of how the overall rating is calculated. So I'll pull that up right there. Okay, and there you can see up top it says category, and then 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. So that's going to be how I weight the different areas. So in terms of the overall rating, you can see the number means how important that is weighted towards their overall rating. You can see that like XP farmer is a 1. That is because there's like 400 champions that can farm 12-3 successfully if they have good gear. So there's not a whole lot of scarcity to that role in the game. That's why it is not going to be weighted super well. But something like the clan boss or the arena or areas that are really hard to progress in and are very important at being good on your account, champions that are good in those areas of the game should be weighted accordingly because those areas are very important. You want to be able to get to gold 4 so you can progress your great haul in the arena, and you want to be getting up to nightmare or ultra nightmare on the clan boss because that is the best source of daily rewards in terms of gems, shards, books, and then the loot of immortal and cruel gear. So I will quickly break down the numbers and the reasoning behind it. Book value, I bumped it up just a tad because Plarium has been tending to release champions that require more and more books as time goes on. Like the legacy champions, a lot of them took like 6, 7, maybe 10 books. Now we're seeing champions like Pixneal get released that take 18 books. So with books being a little bit more of a premium and some of these newer champions leaning towards taking more books, I wanted to up the book value just a little bit. Clan boss, I took it down. We're seeing more and more compositions come out that are capable of doing unkillable type stuff in Nightmare and Ultra, where you don't maybe need the absolute god tier of the god tier to be able to 3-key and get your max chest every day. So I bumped it down just a little bit, and not necessarily because I don't think it's an important area, but just the way it is. When you add new areas, I added the Arcane Keep and I added the Doom Tower, so I have to kind of take points away from other places to be able to add it to the Doom Tower section. And that leads me into Faction Wars 11, basically kept it the same. I had to remove 1 to give me some points available to add to the Doom Tower, which I put as 8. So you can see Doom Tower not as impactful as the Arena or the Clan Boss or even Faction Wars. I think it's very important to focus on Faction Wars first and progress those type champions because that will get you Lydia. Lydia is very good for the Doom Tower. So, and also you get a lot better rewards in terms of daily progress if you're able to farm glyphs in Faction Wars. Those are very important. So I do think Faction Wars is a little bit more important than the Doom Tower. The rewards are pretty good in the Doom Tower, but not like insane. But we'll have to see once people start getting the fragment champions from the Doom Tower about the time that people start getting that first wave of fragment champion rewards from the Doom Tower is about when I will be due to release version 6.0 of the tier list. Then everything else pretty par for the course, wasn't adjusted too much. Like I said, you'll see some of those sections in red. That's just me making sure I get some points available to go ahead and add to the Doom Tower. So really nothing major in terms of change, just kind of shifting a few things around in terms of the overall algorithm, and that kind of explains those changes. Well, let's go ahead and put that away for now. And then I just want to give a quick overview since, like I said, this is the video I have a link to up top. So, okay, if you're a new player and you're wondering what you can do with this thing, it is sortable. So you can go up to File and click Make Copy. Obviously, I can't give access to the master version. It would immediately get trolled and everything would get changed and moved around. So the way that you can make use of the tier list and be able to sort it and stuff is go ahead, click File, Make Copy, and then you will have the tier list on your own Google Sheets account or whatever, and then you're able to play around with it. You can even change ratings if you want to, and use this as just a starting point. But do take note that I changed this, like I said earlier, almost daily. So you're gonna want to check in on the channel or somewhere in my content, the website, the stream, or something, and refresh your tier list every couple weeks or so, because I do make changes pretty often. So if you want to get an updated version, you're going to want to stop by and go ahead and click File, Make Copy again. But yeah, after you do that, you can sort this. So let's say you're a new player and you're wondering, what are my champions I should really make sure I'm keeping in my vault in preparation for Faction Wars? That might be a common question someone asked. They're like, well, I don't want to accidentally feed someone or not hang on to them if I'm going to end up needing them in Faction Wars. You can go up to the Faction Wars section, sort it, and now it shows, I also didn't mention this, but I added this teal section. I went above 10. So I added an 11 and 12 rank to help differentiate champions that are like super meta, like above a 10. So you'll see here that these champions are going to be insane for Faction Wars. They're going to be team carries, amazing champions if you get them. And then that would help somebody learn, like, oh, okay, Doom Priest here is a 7.4 overall, but on Faction Wars, she's a 12. That is because Doom Priest is absolutely incredible in the end game when you're trying to beat the Night Rev 21 stage. She does the cleanse, the heals, and if you get her in high speed and built properly, she's an absolute carry for Night Rev's team. So this is like a way that you could extrapolate information from this and just kind of get a heads up on the lay of the land and what you should be looking out for in terms of different champions. And then if I go back over to the overall and sort it, overall, we are back to normal, where everything is by default sorting by the overall section. And that overall section is going to be the ability to progress your account. It's not going to be a specialized rating. It's going to be like, let's say if a new player pulls Siphi, that is a crazy account changer for them. So that is why Siphi kind of grades out as such an overall amazing champion. She's so good in so many different teams, so many different areas of the game, similar to Valkyrie, Krisk, Draco, Lydia, Venus, Bad L. These are the type of progression account champions that are so good in a very wide perspective of the game and help people progress their accounts. And a common one that comes up is people are like, wait, I always hear like Madame Ceres is such an amazing epic. Why is she behind like Stag Knight, Miscreated Monster, Ugo? I always hear about Ceres being super meta. She is. Ceres is amazing in the arena. She's probably the best epic champion for the arena. And that is why you see here the overall rating, you're like, huh, 8.1. But then you look at arena, 11. Doom Tower, 11. So Ceres, an amazing champion, and that's why you have to break it down in different areas. And then even when you do that, it's tough because like Platinum Arena is way different than Silver Arena, and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss is much different than like on easy or normal, and the game changes depending on so many different factors. Is your Spider team a nuke strategy with like Septimus and Kymar, or is it a sustain strategy with Miscreated Monster and Apothecary and things like that? And because of those reasons, it's very hard to get like one rating for each champion in each area, and why it's never going to be perfect. So what I do is I try to take all that information into consideration and then just rank as best I can considering all those different variables. Which is why if I go somewhere like Painkeeper, you will see that Painkeeper is an 8 in the clan boss, and people would be like, well, wait a minute, isn't she in the #1 god unkillable comp where it's Seeker, Maneater, Painkeeper, and then like a Dracomorph or a Rosin or a Fane or something? Isn't she in the best comp in the game? Why would she not be a 12? Well, she is very good in that comp, and she totally helps enable that comp, but is she amazing without that one specific comp? Not really. So she would probably be like a 4 without that. She would be a 12 because she's in the best composition, so it kind of leverages out to about an 8. I try to take the whole wide spectrum and then kind of break it down into one rating so people see that and they know, okay, Painkeeper is rated good in the clan boss. I'm not 100% sure why though, because she doesn't seem that amazing, and it might get the wheels turning in their head to be like, maybe I should look into why Painkeeper is rated higher than I thought she would, because there's like 1,000 different situations like that. It's really hard to articulate it all. That's why I just do the best I can to take all the information and rate it as most accurately as I can. And for some of these areas, you can mouse over them and get a deeper explanation of that category. So you can see here, if I mouse over the arena, it will say general viability in all tiers except platinum. This is because platinum requires extremely special strategies, changes very often, only applies to 0.01% of the player base, and platinum tier players don't need tier lists. So basically just saying, tier lists are obviously designed, like I said, for early to mid-game players that are trying to get a grasp of all the champions in the game and where they might be useful in. So somebody who's in Platinum Arena is an extremely knowledgeable player who knows the ins and outs of the game. There's no point in trying to make like Platinum consideration for the Arena ranking, because it's a completely different game. Platinum Arena and like Silver, Gold, Bronze Arena, it's completely different. So like I said, I'm making this a resource for players that are trying to learn, and Platinum Arena players are not going to be needing a tier list to help them when it comes to building their team. So but there's lots of different little explanations there on the different areas and categories. And for all those reasons, that's why this is a living document and I am updating it all the time. So definitely let me know down in the comment section, or if you see me on stream or whatnot. I always enjoy hearing people's input and listening to their perspective. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. I can look into changing that rating. So I always enjoy hearing from you guys as well, and trying to make this a community resource and not trying to act like I know what's best all the time and I always rate everything perfectly accurate. So I do enjoy to soak up as much knowledge as I can from the community and do my best to show it here. So that's the goal, and it's never going to be perfect, but I'm doing my best. So anyway, that's going to do it for version 5.0 of the tier list, and kind of explaining lots of the basics here that go into the algorithm and the thought process behind making it. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.